game against the lowly Chicago Bulls. He made 10 threes by halftime while the Warriors scored 92 points in the first half. Klay finished with 52 points, 14 threes, passing the record for the most threes in a game that was set by his teammate Steph Curry, and he did it without playing in the fourth quarter. Take a listen to Klay on breaking the record.
I couldn't ask for a better way to do it, and I'm just going to continue this momentum on Wednesday. And it's the best feeling in basketball, or one of the best feelings in basketball, when you touch the ball and feel like it's going in every time. And so what I do this for is those moments that you share with your teammates. That's why we play basketball, because it's a collective effort. And I really believe, I don't know if I would be able to break these records I have gotten in my past, just like tonight, without the system I play in, or the team I'm with, or the guys I play with, because you know, they knew even before I went out for the second half, Steph, who did the box score, and said, go get it. And that just shows you the unselfishness that is within him. Same with, you know, KD and Draymond and DJ and everyone else that was out there on the floor trying to find me and get me good looks.
Okay, Shannon, what statement did Klay and the Warriors make with that performance last night?
They didn't make a statement. What? I said last week, Skip, after Steph Curry had that 51, I said the only guy that can get hotter than Steph is Klay Thompson. I've seen him go get 60 in 29 minutes. Well, you know what he did last night? He went and got 52 in 26 minutes and 33 seconds. So when it comes to hotness, nobody in the history of the game can heat up like this guy can, especially from distance. Skip, what they showed, the Warriors said, look, guys, we've been bull jiving. If we take y'all serious, do you know we might win 80 games? If we were to really take you guys serious. But you know what? It's hard to get up every single night. Get up for a Monday night, a Wednesday night, a Friday night, a Sunday, a Tuesday, a Thursday. Skip, they love Skip. Come on. I mean, let this sink in for a second. Never in the history of the game have we seen a team, their third best player can go get you 50 in under 30 minutes. Never in the history. But you wanted the best player on the planet to beat that team. Really, Skip Bayless? How you feel now? Don't answer that question. It's not your turn. I have the floor. Hold on. I'm going to make sure. Steph Curry shot the ball less than 10 times last night. Kevin Durant shot the ball less than 10 times.
Interesting.
And they get 149.
Yeah.
That sink in. The second best player, the third best player in the NBA shoots less than 10 shots. And the third best player go get you 52. How do you beat this? The only time we've seen a collection of talent like this and shooters like this is at an all-star game. But this is an all-star. This isn't 2K. This is a regular season Warriors team. You might beat them for a game. But I don't see the team that's assembled currently that can beat this team 4 times over a 2-week span. So they just put everybody on notice. Yeah, I get it. But also, Skip, maybe they're looking at it. Maybe the Warriors themselves are looking within. Guys, I think there's a 90% chance that KD gonna walk. So if he gonna walk, we might as well just go ahead and do this thing, put this thing on ice right quick. Let everybody know we're gonna get 4 in 5 years, 3 in a row, and then we'll see what happens after that. They put everybody on notice. Klay Thompson didn't do nothing because I've seen him do this before. Nobody can heat up like this guy can. And I get it. He was struggling, Skip, shooting 17%. He was shooting worse than Braun from the three-point line.
5 for 36. Wow.
And then he comes in and does this. 26 minutes and 33 seconds is all it took for this man to get 52 points. If I'm a Steve Kerr, I'm like, stand there and get 20. I'm gonna see if he can get 20, Skip. Because when you got it going like that, Skip, you know, I've had it going a couple of times like that. It might took me out, but I look back on it, I'm like, Mike, you should let me in. You should let me get a fight. You should let me rip. I could have about 2 or 3 200-yard games, Skip. But at the time, you're like, no, don't rub it in. You know, the shoe might be on the other foot. I said, well, I'll be gone when the shoe's on the other foot. Let me get my numbers. But you know, I came out the game. But Klay Thompson, think about this. 2 of the greatest 5 shooters in the history of the game are on the same team in their prime. I could make a case that Kevin Durant is the top 5 shooter of all time. And they got 3 of those guys
You're
on their
acknowledging? Oof.
Oh!
Kevin Durant, the best player on the planet.
See, there you go. See,
well, that's what you were saying.
Skip, why you
he's 7 feet tall.
Skip, why you got to do that?
He's one of the top 5 shooters. He's 7 feet. I think that qualifies as best player on the planet.
See, Skip, why you do this? Okay, you took swimming lessons. Now, the first thing you talking about, you a lifeguard. No, you're not. try to pay this team a compliment, and you go way out. Oh, he's the best player. You said he's a top 5 shooter. Okay.
I was a lifeguard without swimming lessons. I just qualified. I could just swim.
You can't swim.
Yes, I can.
You didn't have any lessons.
I didn't have any lessons. No.
I ain't have no
just
lessons
swam.
either.
Oh.
I jumped there with the 4-H camp.
Yeah, okay.
I ain't know how to swim, Skip.
Right.
I told my friends, I saw my white friends, they jumping off the diving board.
Yep.
I was sitting on the edge. I was like, man, I sure wish I could do that. It's like, well, get up on the diving board. I said, man, I can't swim. If I'm drowning, y'all gonna save me? They're like, yeah.
Okay. Good for you.
13 feet deep, Skip.
There you
I
go.
come in that thing stroke. They call me the Black Phelps now.
Did they?
No, not then.
Because there was no Phelps.
No. That's what they call me now.
So, allow me to remind you after your soliloquy that Game 1 last year, the NBA Finals at Oakland and their building, this dynasty was up only 1 point with 10 seconds left, and the best player on the planet, quote unquote, had the ball in his hands with little Steph Curry guarding him at the top of the key, and I don't know what happened. He didn't take the shot.
Okay, Skip, let's just say for the sake of argument, LeBron takes that shot, hits that shot, they win the game.
Whoa.
Are they beating the Warriors 3 more times?
I'd
yes
like their
or no?
chances a whole lot better that way.
Skip, stop.
You have them on the run. Do you know how huge it is to win Game 1 in their building in a 7-game series? It's huge, the momentum of it. Then you could just go freestyle it in Game 2.
Guess what happened? I remember in 1991, Michael Jordan, first NBA Finals. If you don't mind telling the people at home what happened, Michael Jordan's team had the best record. Can you tell the people at home what happened to Michael Jordan in Game 1?
He went 6-0 in the finals.
No, Skip, I'm asking you what happened in Game 1.
And he didn't have Steph and Clay.
Skip, I'm asking you a simple question.
Okay, I got you.
They won. Magic Johnson team beat Michael Jordan in Game 1.
They did.
And lost the next 4.
They sure did. So, back to Klay Thompson. Here's the point. Here's my takeaway from last night. I call him the 4th best player on this team because I think Draymond is slightly more valuable, but that's just me. That's debatable. But when the player I think is the 4th best scores 52 with an NBA record 14 threes, and his stated goal for this year is to make first team all defense, that's unfair. That's just unfair. That's like game over. So when 2 former MVPs, Steph and KD, willingly feed a hot-handed Klay Thompson so that he can break the record, that's just unfair. Because you want to talk about sharing the ball, you want to talk about no ego on that roster, that's shocking to me in this day and age that 2 former MVPs, 1 former 2-time MVP, just willingly, they just give it up. Like you said, he didn't even shoot 10 hits a kick out of that. That'll be his goal. And I don't disagree with you. This team last night was on pace to score 100 points in the first half. They wound up with 90, which, by the way,
92.
92, which is the second most in a first half ever.
Yeah.
And how the Phoenix Suns back in 1990 scored 107 in the first half. Do you remember that team? Kevin Johnson, Marley, Hornacek was on that team.
So Barkley was on that team too, right?
I don't think.
What year was it?
On it? Tom Chambers.
Tom Chambers, yeah.
Yeah, but the point is, how did they score 107 on the Denver Nuggets, who were just running gun? But they weren't even shooting. I think they took 2 threes in the first half. It was not a 3-point.
Up and down.
How do you score 107 on shooting 2?
Well, that's how it was in the 80s, Skip. You remember nobody shot threes in the 80s, and they were getting the Nuggets. The Nuggets lost to the Pistons, I think, 181 to 183.
Okay. All right. So last night they scored 92. That's the second most first half points ever. It's just sick. It's impossibly great.
Skip, this is why I say Klay Thompson is the 3rd best player on their team, because he has the toughest assignment. They say you got James Harden, you got LeBron, you got Russ, but I still need you to give me 15 to 20, but I need you to limit what they get. Okay. So this is why I say he's the 3rd best player on their roster. Now, Draymond does a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he assists, he'll defend, all that. But Klay Thompson on a nightly basis. Okay, Klay, tonight you got Dame Lillard. Right. Tomorrow you got James Harden. And then you got Russ. Okay, by the way, you got Kawhi, you got Kyrie. So he has his, I mean, think about it, and you said it. Here's the guy that went and got 52 on less than 27 minutes, but his #1 goal isn't to make the All-Star team, is to be first team because that's what he prides himself in.
What did Kevin Durant say before the season started? His goal this year is to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
Really? Well, that's not fair. I'm sorry, it's just not fair.
But see, KD, when you got an offensive game like KD, you got to stay motivated somehow. If KD was on another team without these guys, KD could legitimately average 30 plus, I'd say 33, 34 points a night, Skip. because you can't do anything with him. I mean, he shoots that shot. He's already 7 foot tall, so he's releasing it when he jumps at 11 feet in the air. So you're not blocking his shot.
And I remind everyone that there's another nuclear weapon who is simply the best big man in all of basketball who's rehabbing an Achilles that might, by January, be part of this rotation. DeMarcus Cousins.
Right.
Can he share the ball? Can he rebound and play defense?
Oh, yeah.
Can he blend?
Well, because if you play him, you really don't need your depth lineup because he's the depth lineup because you used to pound what you try to do when they go to that lineup there. You try to pound them on the glass. Well, you got Boogie that once had a 40-20 game who was as good a big man as there is. Okay, whether you like Embiid, whether you like Anthony Davis, or you like Boogie Cousins. We're healthy, he's in that mix.
He's definitely in that
mix.
He's in that mix.
So the only bad thing, the only thing that went wrong for Klay Thompson last night was he banged heads with my man Damian Jones from Vanderbilt University, who's starting for the Golden State Warriors.
He got headbutting his own team.
He headbutted his own team, but maybe some of his knowledge from Vanderbilt went into Klay's head, because that's what happens when you bump heads with a Vandy man.
Wow,
you get some knowledge.
No,
back.
you don't.
No, you do.
No, you don't. So what happened to me? I feel like every time I turn around, I got to go home and read and study because I've lost something.
Oh, that's how it works. Those Vanderbilt alums.
But what did Klay do? He just puts a bandage on it, puts a headband over it, and he just keeps firing.
Yeah, he said he felt like Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
I love how the season just started and the Warriors are playing games within the game. Like they're trying to keep themselves occupied. Separate goals.
The third best player. In the history of the game, have you ever seen a team that have the third best player that can go do that? No.
It's a new
No, Skip, I go ahead and answer it for you. No.
From the team that has it together to the team that really does not. The Browns cleaned house yesterday, but is that good news, bad news for our guy Baker Mayfield? We'll discuss that next.